So today I've got the Digiflavor Lynx RDA. Saw this one on Element Vape and it looked kind of interesting because it's got bottom airflow on it, but it is supposed to not leak. So let's see if that's true. So some of the details on it's got spring-loaded clamps for the posts, which I've never done a build on like that before, so we will give that a shot and see how that turns out. Again, leaking proof design. Bottom airflow, and then it's also got side airflow, and then a ceramic block let in air from all sides. Alright, not exactly sure what that means, so let's take a look at it here. So about the same size as I believe the Tsunami 24. I believe this one is a 24 millimeter. Yep. Let's see. Take a look here. I do not have my Tsunami to make a comparison right at hand. So, kind of interesting. If you look at it, no airflow. No airflow anywhere. How's that possible? Oh. So you unscrew it a little bit, and you end up with your airflow opening up. So you just barely see that, but there is airflow there. And once I open this up, you'll see how that works. And if you keep screwing it, or unscrewing it, your side airflow starts to become exposed. So, as you can see there, good size side airflow. And then if you keep unscrewing it, and keep unscrewing it, keep unscrewing it, completely comes off. So, this is the interesting part about this. You can see in there that there's these bottom airflow holes, and those are fed by the lower of the two airflows. So it goes down and through on that. So let's pop this sucker completely open. And there you can see how it works. So, bottom and side airflow vents down on the side, which is captured in these air hole vents, which it really doesn't seem like there's that much airflow in there, so I'm going to be curious to see how that works out, which then feeds in under and through the tubes at that point. And then you got these spring-loaded, and they are springy, clamps for your coils. So I've heard that you can do some pretty cool things with spring-loaded clamps, but I'm not normally doing many builds that are crazy, that need anything like that, so we'll see how this works out. So it looks like we got our positive and our negative on here, so most likely do from here to, well, let's see, how am I going to do that? Do from this side of the block to that side, and then from this side here to that side, to the inner portion of it. So let's give that a shot. Nope, let's keep this off for this build. So I'm going to do this with some 24 gauge Canthal. I'm going to be doing coils at 3 millimeters. And let's give this a shot and see how it turns out. Turns out. Let's throw this on my 521 tab. Get it all ready. So the other things that come in the box, just so you know, you can get a 510 drip tip, which is in there real good. Let's get that out. So it looks like it's probably Delrin, not exactly sure on that. And so it's got an adapter for that. So down the bottom you get your nice little 3-prong tool with the Phillips head and the 2 different sizes of Allen wrenches, 2 extra screws on that, and some O-rings, and your 510 drip tip adapter that screws into this, so the drip tip on this one looks like it just fits right in there. And so I guess it doesn't screw in, it just goes right in with grommets on that. Some O-rings. I'm going to leave the wide bore one in there because that's usually what I prefer on that. So let's get started here with making a coil. So I've got 2 pieces of Camphor here. And I'm probably going to do this one at about, let's go with 5 wraps on this one. There we go. 2 coils made. Now let's check this out. Since I've already got a 3-prong tool, I'm going to use that. Open these up a little bit. This down just a bit. It's got a little tab right there, kind of keeps it from letting the wire out, which is good. So imagine if I loosen that up too much, I'm going to have a problem there, but since I'm not planning on loosening it up that much, I won't. Probably should have done this on a thicker gauge, more coils, but I'm going to start off here and see where this gets me. So here's an interesting problem. I have to tighten this down for one, but as soon as I go to put in the other side, I'm going to have to loosen this sucker back up. So I have a feeling this is going to be tricky. I'm just going to slightly get that one in there. Get it sort of in place. Move on to the other side. Time being. Pre-shaped a little bit. Away with this. Stick that one in there. See if I can get that one in without having to loosen it up. Oh, you're gonna be tricky, aren't you? Nope, got her in. Alright. Let's see what we got going on here. Of course, my lead's long enough that it's poking the other coil. It's just slightly into place, though. Tighten down just a little bit more. Grab this little guy and shove him up a bit. Alright. Yeah, probably hear my dog running around upstairs. Yeah, I'm afraid this is gonna be fun. Trying to get both of these to work at the same time. This one back just a little bit. That one will be good. through. Or I'm gonna have to loosen it up a little. Yep. Oh, that's doing bad things there. Yeah, so far I'm not sure that I like the spring-loaded clamps on this. It's kind of a pain. If you're loosening anything up and it were to slide out, you're trying to press it in instead of pull it. Anything of that sort. Let's see. Not feeling real confident about this build so far. It looks sloppy. So very sloppy. Don't like the way that coil looks. Heat it up just a little bit. Just a little bit. Alright, let's tighten her down and see what we got. So not feeling real super enthused about this, but what are you gonna do, huh? I feel like it's a long ways away from the posts. That one got a little bent up. I forgot to trim that one. Quite get all of it. There we go. Alright, everything's trimmed up. Let's fire this up and see. So we're reading at 0.31 right now. Let's fire it. See what she does. Oh. Well, they're glowing good. Look about even. One might be up just a little bit higher than the other one. This one down just slightly. There we go. A little better. That one looks alright. The other side looks like crap. Alright. So let's get some cotton in this sucker. Once again, using native wicks. Platinum blend, which I'm going to have to get some more of pretty soon. too much cotton on this, but just enough to have it sit down into the bottom. So, two nice little bow ties. Make sure those ends are still fluffed out. There. Lay your cotton down in it. Alright, there we go. All cottoned up. It's nice and fluffy like. And let's see, what do we want to put on this? Put a little bit of juice on it. I'm going to put some Doobie Snacks Muse Juice. Don't judge. It's good stuff. Really kind of disappointed more vape shops aren't carrying this juice. I have to order it online. And it's disappointing. I think a lot of people judge it just because it's Jason Mewes, but you know what? He's made a good juice. Can't lie. Thought it was going to be really gimmicky when I first got it too. I find out it's a good solid flavor. At least this one. It's got a Muse Latte, which is a espresso latte flavored one also. Yeah, I'm not a big coffee flavored juice fanatic, so haven't vaped a lot of it, but it's still probably, out of all the ones I've tried, one of the better ones. So I got a fair amount of cotton in this. It is going to soak up quite a bit. So I think it would be really cool if they had a bottom feed pin for this, but it did not come with one. I don't think I could just put one in it. Let's see. So she is all juiced up. Excuse me. Alright, so I'm assuming at this point gonna have to get this lined up the same on it. I don't think there's anything that prevents me from not getting it lined up though. Oh yeah, there is. So if you look in there, there is a little pin right here, a little raised portion of it on each side. And then on each side here, we've got a divot for it to set in. So in order for it to be in there right, those have to line up. That's good. I was kind of afraid that one thing, you know, put the sleeve back over on a lot of these, and you don't want to line up quite right. And you can see, maybe you can, right around here, there's a little outline, so you can see where it's going based on that. And I think I got it on there. So let's see what we're going to put her on. put it on my Rulo RX23. So it's almost, I'd say, almost too easy. Screw that, so I'm afraid when I'm doing bottom airflow just sitting around, it's going to come up and start doing side airflow on me. Let's see, 0.31, I don't think I'm going to do that, 120 watts. Pull that down. Try about 70. Alright, let's give her a shot, see what happens. The bottom airflow is quite restrictive, or restricted. Let's give it another rip here. Sit here and look at Muse for a little while. So that's just with the bottom airflow open on it. Oh, why don't I hit the microphone? That's a good idea. So I got that open pretty much all the way. I'm going to close it down and see. Yeah, it's going to be kind of ridiculous, but let's give it a shot. Yeah. Alright, let's open it up and see with some little bit of side airflow on it going on. So got that side and the bottom airflow going. Way airier. Close that down about half. So, half side airflow, bottom airflow completely open, which is about equivalent to the side being halfway open. Yeah, I don't know. So that, like I said, this is here, and as juice gets on that, I imagine it's only going to get easier to turn. I mean, granted, good on them for machining it to the point where it does turn easy, but that's almost too easy. So, juice it up, unscrew it, take a look in there, still got plenty of juice going. I want to test their claim that this cannot be flooded. It's not going to leak, they say. They say it's not going to leak. I have a feeling that it can. Somehow, some way. I'm not sure how. But the only way I could see that it would leak is out in these vent holes here. So let's put a little puckerberry in here and kind of load her down with that and see what happens. I'll have to say it's pretty easy to get the juice in there. I'm just going to saturate the crap out of this thing. There's more juice in here than I really need. I'm not even paying attention to where I'm juicing it at. Probably got it down in the airflow. See what happens. Yeah, getting it started is a little difficult, but not too bad. So I guess, you know, if you're carrying it around, that's not going to leak unless you got it upside down. And then, yeah, there's nothing coming out. Quite a bit in there. So let's just go side airflow. Sure, there's got to be some juice in that side airflow. Well, no juice coming out of the side, that's for sure. I think with that side airflow open just a little bit, and about the same airflow as the Tsunami, which I quite enjoy. So I just barely got that open any. Flavors on it is good. I'm kind of impressed. You can tell the paint on this maybe. If you look at it, it's not super even on it, but not too bad. The finish isn't too bad on it. And the fact that I don't have juice collecting around the edges on this is definitely nice compared to just about anything else that I have that has bottom airflow. You always get just a little bit of juice start to collect on there from condensation or whatnot, or a little bit of it's gone into the bottom airflow tubes, and it becomes a problem. You constantly got to be cleaning that up a little bit, but this, I don't see how there's going to be that problem with this at all. I think we got a winner. I like it. So, that is the Digiflavor Lynx RDA. Pretty cool RDA. I definitely give it at least one thumbs up. Probably two. Maybe three. I don't know. Comparatively, about the same form factor as Tsunami or the Tobacco Velocity, which also has the bottom and side airflows on it too, with kind of the same mechanism of those. You screw the top or unscrew the top to have more airflow on the side, but it has the same problem of having the bottom airflow comes from the bottom. Yeah, I've got one sitting right here as an example. Or I'm sorry, there is no bottom airflow on the velocity mod. I don't know what I was thinking on that. But you have dual. You've got the airflow that's directly over the coils, and then if you unscrew it, you've got the top airflow. So with this one, it's and I'm dripping out of that one like crazy. That's not good. So this one's either bottom or side. There is no top, which that's fine. I'm not a big fan of the top airflow anyhow. So yeah, this is a good deal. Glad I picked this one up. So anybody has any questions about it, I'd be more than happy to answer them in the comments. And if you are liking my videos, go ahead and like them. Thumbs up. I think you can only do one though. And subscribe so you can see more of them as I make them. Thanks.